Oh, right, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces with the Angry Nerd. And today I thought we would take a look at the T17E2. Now, before we get started, I would like to go ahead and apologize. For some reason, the garage vehicle, the T17E2 here, it will not rotate in the garage. It just sits just like this. I've waited a while, don't know what's wrong with it. Shut down, rebooted everything. It just won't rotate. So I'm going to have to rotate it by hand like this a little bit. I hope you don't mind. It's not going to be quite as smooth. We're going to leave it sitting a little bit, but yeah, that's what's happening. Don't know what's wrong with it. The T-17 and the T-17E1 were two American armored car designs produced during the Second World War. Neither saw service with frontline U.S. forces, but the T-17E1 was supplied to the United Kingdom and Commonwealth forces during the war and received the service name Staghound. In July 1941, U.S. Army Ordnance issued a specification for a medium armored car, the T-17, alongside a specification for a heavy armored car, the T-18. Ford Motor Company built a six-wheel, all-driven 6x6 prototype, which was designated T-17, and Chevrolet, a four-wheel, all-driven 4x4 model designated T-17E1. At the same time, the British Purchasing Commission was also looking for medium and heavy armored cars for use in the war in North Africa. Both the T-17 and T-17E used the same turret, which was designed by Rock Island Arsenal, with British requirements driving some of the design's features, such as putting at least 2 crew in the turret and placing the radio in the turret so that it was closer to the commander. The British allocated the name Staghound to the T-17E series. British liaison officers, having had contact with McPherson, the Chevrolet engineer in charge of the project, felt that they had influenced him sufficiently to produce something that met all their requirements. Accordingly, in December, the British Purchasing Commission formally requested production of 300 vehicles. The British order was confirmed in March 1942, when the pilot T-17E was delivered to the Aberdeen Proving Ground for testing. Testing revealed flaws, but these were expected to be correctable, and a further 1,500 were ordered. Production started in October of 1942. The U.S. Army convened a board to examine the state of the multitude of armored car projects and recommended in December 1942 the cancellation of the larger designs and standardization on a smaller vehicle. This lighter vehicle would appear as the M8 Greyhound vehicle. However, the British applied for the T-17E1 production to be continued for the United Kingdom under the Lend-Lease program. Approximately 4,000 Staghounds were produced in total. The Staghound was an innovative design that incorporated some advanced features. It had 2 rear-facing 6-cylinder engines with automatic transmissions, with 4 forward and 1 reverse gears, feeding through a transfer case to drive both axles. Either 2 or 4-wheel drive could be selected. Either engine could be shut down while in motion and taken out of the drivetrain. Additionally, a power steering pump was incorporated that could be switched on or off manually from the driver's instrument panel, depending on steering conditions. Steering and suspension components were directly attached to the hull, as the structure was rigid enough to dispense with the need for a separate chassis. The Staghound entered service too late for use in the North African campaign. As a result, it first saw operational service in Italy, where many units found the Staghound's large physical size too restrictive in the narrow roads and streets of Europe. It saw most service at the squadron and regimental headquarters level. Conditions for the Staghound improved when the Italian campaign became more mobile in the middle of 1944, and the Staghound was also used in Northwest Europe. Now the T17E2 was a T17E1 fitted with a Fraser-Nash designed turret mounting two Browning M2 50 caliber heavy machine guns. The turrets were built in the U.S. originally for British motor torpedo boats, but were redesigned for the T17E2. They could carry 2,610 rounds. The turret was open-topped and had an electric hydraulic traverse system with a maximum slew rate of 55 degrees a second. It had a reduced crew of 3, the commander/gunner, the loader, and the driver. 789 T17E2s were produced between October 1943 and April 1944, when production was stopped. After the war, the Staghounds were distributed among smaller NATO countries in Europe and in the Middle East. A number of countries used the Staghound after the war, with some of the vehicles continuing to serve until the 1980s. Now in War Thunder, the T17E2 is a Rank 1 SPAA with a battle rating of 1.7. Its 2 engines give it 308 horsepower, propelling the 12-ton vehicle to a top speed of 55 miles per hour. It comes equipped with 2 12.7mm M2 50 caliber machine guns, and with a maxed out crew, you can achieve a reload of 8.5 seconds. Okay, so what do I think about the T17E2? I think it's at a pretty good battle rating, right where it is right now at 1.7. A lot of people thought that it was really overpowered, but here's my opinion on that. Right now, everybody is driving the British vehicles, and none of them have any armor. So it's just right pickings for the T17E2. Now, this thing has the exact same armament as the American M13 SPAA, the 2 50 caliber machine guns. And I took out the M13 just to compare. And when I could get people in my sights in the M13, I was able to do the same thing to them that you can do to them with the T17E2. The difference between the two vehicles is that big ass half track is hard to get into good firing positions, and it doesn't have the gun depression that this small T17E2 does. So you can fire at the enemy and leave a much smaller target for the enemy to shoot at with this vehicle. It's smaller and it has great gun depression. If you try to fire from the same position in that M13, you have to get way too much of your vehicle showing, and you end up getting taken out. And that's what the real advantage of this vehicle is over the American SPAA. But this thing is a blast to play. You can really make some people mad, especially if you roll up like on a Panzer IV and just chew them up from the side. This thing has a large magazine capacity, and let me tell you, if you roll up on the side of a Panzer IV and chew him up and kill him, you will undoubtedly see some choice words in the chat. It really makes people mad. People really think this thing is way overpowered, and it's not. So that's my opinion on the T17E2. I think it's great fun. why don't we hop into a game and see what we can do with it. This is gonna be fun. Okay. Oh, we picked up jungle. Let's see. Usually run around toward, I can hardly read the numbers. Start from here. Usually run around the road to the back. Farthest, I guess, south you can get, but don't really have the damage from the 50 cows decreases at a distance. So I'm going to try to run right up on the A point, not actually on top of the A point to cap it, but right beside the A point, and see if I can obstruct some people coming to the A point. Thing gets around the map pretty good. Clean those tires off. Okay, there's a point that I like to come and sit right over here. It's a little dip. Right in here. As long as I don't get anybody on the hill, as long as I don't get anybody on the hill up behind me. There we go. Up behind me. This is usually a pretty good spot. I can see somebody on the mini map behind me, so I'm not. He may have just got taken out. That's good. Throw a little arty. See if I can get these guys to move up. Need to be very patient when you're sitting here. The little hill to my right blocks my view, but it also blocks them from seeing me. Come on, press that hill.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Getting down.
Looks like I got lots of guys down behind me on the southern portion of the map. Got something sneaking around behind me. It might have just got taken out. I don't see it now. Here we go. A little more arty.
Roger that. Confirming fire.
So close. Oh, he's going up behind the rock. What? Who's that?
Somebody cover me.
Oh. There we go. Oh, shoot. Oh, those dang AIs snuck up beside me. And in this thing, they can still kill you. Dang it, dang it. looks like he already got taken out. If he didn't, he would have been. Get rid of this last little bits of ammo and reload. Can I get a shot? There you go.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
And like enemy targets are getting a little thin.
Attack the A point.
Oh shoot. Need to pay a little more attention. I didn't see him come up on top of that hill. Throw some hardy over there. Somebody's capping. Give him some too. Oh dang it! And set me on fire. Okay. I'm just gonna peek just a little bit, which is probably what this tank beside me was doing. Probably just peeking just a little bit.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Thought I saw somebody coming on the minimap. He may have gotten taken out.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Okay, let's not. I hope that's nobody shooting at me. Takes a whole lot more to turn these vehicles around than it does in a track vehicle. You have to be aware of that. You can't turn quite as sharp. But I'm getting bored, sitting right there. Still a good bit of time left in the game. So I'm going to come around here to their side. The closer I get to that spawn, the more vulnerable I will be. But there is a possibility of, oh, what's that? Okay. Yep, he's just waiting. Oh, shit, another plane. Need to get this engine repaired before somebody comes tooling around this corner and lays one into me. 2, 1, here we go. Oh, that's it. That was it. Okay. Let's see. Multi-strike, shadow strike streak, adamant, sentinel, professional, heavy metal fury, and on hand. Destroyed 10 enemy vehicles. 3rd place in the team, 10,917 silver lions. And it looks like we got, what? It didn't look like it was adding up right, but hey, it's okay. You just got to see it. You can go back and count them if you really want to know exactly how many I took out. Okay, so that was the T17E2. If you want to take out this vehicle, a nice place to shoot it is right there where I have the British, the white shield with the red cross. You got the 2 drivers, or the driver and the loader assistant driver sitting right there, and if you can hit that from the side right around that area, you can take both those individuals out, and it can't operate with just the commander left in the turret, so you've taken it out. If you knock him out of the turret, he's going to switch. They're still going to get shot on you. Now, losing a guy from the turret and going down 1 crew member is not that bad in this vehicle because of the huge amount of ammo that it carries before it needs to reload. So that is a benefit. Hey, if you've liked this look at the T17E2, won't you hit that like button? If you didn't, don't. Subscribe if you would. It really helps the channel. But as always, thanks for watching. Nerd out.